Elon Musk. He's been meddling a lot in politics lately, meddling so much that a lot of Democrats, even like lawmakers, over the weekend took to calling him President Musk. Um, and I heard people calling him President Musk like on like CNN and shit, like they thought it was funny. And then when I heard that, I was like, I don't think that's so funny. Like I don't think that's a nice funny joke. Um, and I was trying to figure out why I didn't think it was funny. And it reminded me a little bit of like during the presidential campaign, one of the big things that us on the Democratic side, the left side, started doing was calling Republicans weird, and that was cute at the time because it made them all flustered. They get all, "I'm not weird," and they do something weird to say that if they're not weird, they are weird, um, and it got them flustered, but it didn't really do anything because they still won. So. I think for me, like the little word games, the little pokey proby shit feels a little less funny to me now because we've proven that it doesn't really do anything. Like it's entertaining, right? But if there's real shit on the line and there's real danger for folks, then shit like that is not cutting it. It's not leading to any sort of real change. And I also think that Musk meddling in politics in the manner that he's doing, I actually think it's a little worse than weird. I actually think it's pretty fucking disrespectful. I actually feel like it's pretty fucking disrespectful. Like, why is he allowed in these rooms? Why is he allowed in these group chats? Why is he allowed to have any sort of say? Why is he allowed to put his thumb on any of these scales? Can I go in these rooms? No. If I try to go in these rooms or have any say in anything, they're going to tell me no. And the reason he can is it's only because he's rich. And that to me feels fucking disrespectful. Like he wasn't elected anything. He's never campaigned for anything. And it doesn't even bother him that he wasn't elected anything. Like he doesn't even think twice about going into the place where elected officials work and trying to tell them how to do their jobs and threatening them. He doesn't even feel any fucking sort of shame about it. This should be the end of imposter syndrome. None of us should ever feel imposter syndrome again. It should be over now, because this guy who's been a fuck up for a lot of his life. I mean, he's rich. He's done something right for sure, but he's shown no qualifications for any sort of political anything and doesn't think twice about telling people who have campaigned and no laws and no procedures and no protocol and no Robert's Rules of Order and no how a bill becomes a law. Maybe even they just heard the goddamn Schoolyard Rock song. They know these things. He knows nothing, and he feels perfectly fucking comfortable telling people how to do their jobs. None of us should ever fucking feel imposter syndrome ever again. Like he can't even win an election on his own website when he asked people who mostly like him whether or not he should continue to be the CEO of the social media platform that he owns. They voted no. They voted no. That's his lifetime record in elections is 0-1 on his own website that he owns. And he feels perfectly fucking comfortable telling lawmakers what they should and shouldn't vote for and threatening them. He threatens lawmakers by funding primary challengers against them. And that's like a fucked up thing to do, especially publicly. Like that's a fucked up thing to do. Like think about that. If he's saying, so all of this happened over the government funding bill that needed to pass over last week or the government was going to shut down. There was a bipartisan agreement in place where the Republicans and the Democrats have been doing whatever fighting, arguing, negotiating, whipping of votes that had to happen to put this bill in order, facing up against the deadline for a government shutdown, and he starts tweeting about how nobody should vote for this bill, and for any Republican lawmakers that voted for this bill, he was going to fund primary challengers against them. And that's so fucked. That's really fucked. Like, because what he's saying there is, you lawmakers that have been elected into office, he's saying, fuck what your constituents want. Fuck your voting record. Fuck your staff. Fuck their families. If you don't do what I want you to do on this bill that I don't really even know anything about, then I'm going to fund opposition, whether they're better or worse at the actual job of lawmaking or not. I'm going to do that because I can't afford to. And it seems as if, and I don't know the ins and outs of the man's motivations, but a lot of smart people talk about how laws in this bill affect his businesses, but he's already fucking the richest man in the world. So why does he even give a shit? And yes, this is oligarchy. We all know what this is, right? This is oligarchy. And yes, there's always been some manner of oligarchy. But the old oligarchs had the decency, the basic fucking respect to try to hide it. Like just the it's almost like just the intelligence to know how much you're going to piss people off if they can nakedly see you doing shit like this. Like they used to do oligarchy at golf courses. They used to do oligarchy at these fucking expensive fundraisers. They used to do the oligarchy at Bohemian Grove and shit like that. Look it up. They burn the owl and figure out what the next year is going to look like. But this motherfucker, Elon Musk, is like officially playing in our faces. Like officially. And I don't think it's just immoral or just unethical. I actually think it's fucking disrespectful. And, whoo, you know, there's a lot of people who get disrespected in our society. Minorities get disrespected. People with disabilities get disrespected. The LGBT community gets disrespected. And, yeah, women get disrespected a lot. I used to think that nobody got disrespected in society more than women, but I'm starting to think that the most disrespected community in our country is workers. I'm starting to think that workers get disrespected more than anybody. Elon Musk is rich because of the exploitation of labor. You can't become a billionaire without exploiting workers. And so that goes for fucking Soros and Jay-Z, of course, Bezos, anybody else. You cannot become a billionaire without exploiting labor. It's impossible. You cannot become a billionaire by paying workers the value of their worth. You can't do it. And Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's got the most billions, which means mathematically he's exploited the most people. And then on top of that now, he's going to nakedly try to buy the government. And I'm like, on what fucking grounds? By what merit? I think it annoys me so much too, because I just watched what he did to Twitter over the last year or so. And it's like, oh, you're going to make the country better like you made Twitter better? Like he's made Twitter one of the worst like non-anonymous places on the internet. Fucking Reddit is like better than Twitter now for people's fucking mental health. Like this guy Elon Musk, like, you know that word enshittification? Like I used to think that word was dumb, but then like if you look at what Elon Musk did to Twitter, he enshittified it. He made it worse aggressively. So now he's going to enshittify America because he can fucking afford to? I feel deeply disrespected by what this human being is choosing to do with his wealth and resources because he already fucking has enough. At some point, how much is fucking enough? And the rest of us don't have shit. Like, at what point does the disrespect go too far? Like, it, at some point it crosses a line. And, I'm not advocating for Luigi Mangione type behavior, but this is certainly how you get it. You can't keep playing in people's faces like this. You can't keep doing, not while they're struggling. Not while you have all the fucking money in the world. And like, we can't fight against money because we have to fight to make money. And you have all the money and you're going to use it to make shit for us worse? The nerve of it all. For you to use the wealth that you hoard to fight against us. The people who fight to scrounge up little morsels of the shit you already have. It's fucking disrespectful. And I'm, hey, again, I'm not I'm not wishing for nothing to happen to nobody, but if something happened to somebody by now, I couldn't be fucking surprised, man, because everybody's not gonna sit around and take this shit. Everybody's not, and it's been proven. I mean, you talk about the outpour of adoration for somebody who just unalived a rich person. Like, that's the climate we're in. That's the climate we're in. And if you're in that climate, bold enough to continue doing shit like this in public, I can't be sure something won't happen. I can't be sure something won't happen. Yeah, class solidarity is the only hope. Because but they're pushing us towards it at this point. They're pushing us towards it. Like, we're supposed to have these systems in place where people are sent to Washington, D.C. To reflect our interests, and it's only getting further and further away from that. This motherfucker Elon Musk killed a version of the bill that had research funding for children's cancer in it. Cancer research. Like, Trump is going to do these tax cuts again. He's already said he's going to do these tax cuts again. His tax cuts from last time are set to expire. He's going to do the tax cuts again. That money has to come from somewhere. They're not just going to print more money. They're going to be trying to slash Medicaid, Medicare, all these public fucking programs. The shit that's supposed to work for us. And the way that it's being organized, we're going to have less and less of a say in it. Like and subscribe, homie, friend. It's free. Stop playing.